Victory tastes a little sweeter when it comes against a big-name opponent. And after weeks of frustration, the Chicago Bears finally gave their fans something to cheer about. The first win of the season came in style, knocking off none other than the Dallas Cowboys. And there's a different energy in the air this Monday. Bears fans are waking up with a rare feeling lately: joy, hope, maybe even cautious optimism, because what we saw on that field yesterday might just be the start of something real. At the center of it all was Caleb Williams. Yeah, the same Caleb Williams who's been under the microscope since the moment he was drafted. Has he officially arrived? That question is being tossed around like crazy this morning. And while it's still early to make grand declarations, there's no denying the growth we've seen from him over these first few weeks. Week by week, he's looked more comfortable, more composed, and more dangerous. Sunday's performance was, by far, his most complete showing yet, even if it came against a Cowboys defense that's looked shaky this season. But that's what good quarterbacks are supposed to do: exploit weaknesses and put points on the board. 298 passing yards. For touchdowns, a passer rating north of 140. Those are real numbers, not padded stats or empty yardage in garbage time. He was sharp, decisive, and, perhaps most importantly, he looked like he was in control. But what really stands out is that even with a stat line like that, you can watch the tape and see opportunities they still missed. And that's what's so encouraging. They didn't play a perfect game. Caleb didn't play a perfect game. And yet, they still dropped nearly 30 on Dallas and made it look relatively easy. From the very first drive, you could feel a different tone. There was an energy and rhythm to the offense that hadn't been there consistently in the first two games. Caleb looked comfortable in Ben Johnson's system, spreading the ball around, making the right reads, extending plays when he needed to, and standing tall in the pocket when it mattered. And maybe the best thing of all, he protected the football. No reckless throws, no panic decisions, just smart football. That's the kind of quarterback play this franchise has been desperate for. Now, if you zoom out a little and look at the numbers through 3 games, there's even more reason to feel good. 63.4% completion rate, up from 60 in Week 1. 7 touchdown passes to just 1 interception. Over 700 passing yards. He's back on pace for a 4,000-yard season. That's not just Rookie of the Year type stuff. That's franchise quarterback trajectory. And it's not just with his arm, either. Caleb's shown he can make plays with his legs, adding nearly 100 yards on the ground already. He's got dual threat capability, and more importantly, he knows when to use it. But no, nobody's handing him a $50 million a year contract today. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. It's been 3 games. 3 good games. Yes, games that suggest he's learning and improving, but still only 3 games. The NFL has seen plenty of quarterbacks start hot before fading just as quickly. That's not to throw cold water on the excitement. It's just reality. What matters is the trajectory. And right now, Caleb Williams is climbing. You want your rookie quarterback to show progress every week, and that's exactly what we're seeing. He's stacking performances. He's learning from mistakes. And now, he's getting results. And look, it wasn't just Caleb making things happen. Let's give some love to Tariq Stevenson, too. If there was ever a moment where a player stepped up and said, "Not today," it was Stevenson on that second play of the game. Dallas hits a chunk run on first down, they're driving, and suddenly it looks like the Bears are about to get steamrolled again. But then Stevenson chases down Javonte Williams, strips the ball, and flips the momentum instantly. You could feel the shift in the stadium, like everyone took a deep breath for the first time. The offense cashed it in, and just like that, it was a different ball game. And maybe that play was bigger than just a turnover. Maybe it was the spark this team needed to believe in themselves again. Think about the alternative. Dallas scores there, the Bears go 3 and out again, and the spiral continues. That moment, that punch-out might have been the play that changed the course of the season. Stevenson didn't just make a big play, he made a statement. He showed up in a big way, and you could see that confidence grow in him as the game went on. He played tight, physical coverage, broke up a couple of key passes, and almost jumped a route for a pick 6. For a player who's been under a lot of pressure to deliver, that was exactly the type of game he needed. But even with all the positive takeaways, there's still one area that leaves a bit of a sour taste: the running game. It's just not there yet. Yes, there was that epic third-quarter drive where they ran the ball 11 straight times and chewed up clock, kept the defense off the field, and capped it with a score. That was beautiful classic football. But overall, the numbers don't lie. Through 3 games, Bears running backs, and that includes some carries from wideouts like DJ Moore, have combined for just over 200 yards on 61 carries. That's a measly 3.4 yards per carry. That's not going to cut it, not over a full season. You watch the tape, and it's clear there's no dominant back in this rotation. DeAndre Swift hasn't shown the kind of vision or explosiveness he flashed earlier in his career. He's not breaking tackles, not hitting the hole with authority. Kyle Manunga showed a little juice yesterday, and maybe he's earned more touches moving forward, but there's not enough consistency. One carry he's fighting for tough yards, the next he's getting pushed back 8 yards and losing all the momentum. It's not just a scheme thing, it's a talent thing too. And if this team has plans to contend later this year, they might need to look outside the building to address it. Now, let's go back to the passing game for a second, because something's starting to click between Caleb Williams and Rome Odunze. That connection, it's not fully formed yet, but it's growing. You can feel it. You can see it. That 3rd-and-8 touchdown in the first quarter, that wasn't even the route that was called. Rome sees Trayvon Diggs slip, breaks off the play, and just takes off. Caleb sees it, doesn't hesitate, drops a perfect ball, and it's 6 points. That's chemistry. That's trust. That's 2 young players recognizing a moment and seizing it, and doing it on the same page without even needing to speak. And that's what separates good offenses from great ones. When a quarterback and receiver can adjust on the fly, break off their routes, and still find each other in rhythm, that's when the magic happens. And it wasn't just that one play. Rome had another big game, and while he did drop a touchdown later in the game that he'll want back, the overall picture is very promising. Through 3 games, he's already got more touchdowns than he had all last season. Over 200 receiving yards. And it still feels like he hasn't fully hit his stride yet. That should excite Bears fans. If this is the floor, imagine what the ceiling looks like when these two are completely in sync. And that's really the theme of this win. Progress, not perfection. There's still a lot to clean up. The running game is still an issue. The defense gave up a few chunk plays early. There were missed opportunities on offense. But for the first time in a long time, it felt like the Bears had a plan. It felt like the quarterback was in control. It felt like the young talent is growing into something that might just matter when December and January roll around. The beauty of this win is not just what happened in 60 minutes of football. It's what it represents. It's not often you can point to a single game in week 3 of the season and say that might have shifted the narrative, but this one feels different. It wasn't just a team stealing a win. It was a team executing, fighting, responding to adversity, and showing signs of actual identity. That's been missing for years in Chicago. We've seen moments, we've seen flashes, but what we saw against the Cowboys looked and felt like a group finally starting to believe in itself. And when a young team starts believing, that's when dangerous things start to happen. What stood out most was how the team responded after halftime. In the past, this is the type of game that would have slipped away. We've seen it too many times. Decent start, signs of life, maybe a lead, and then everything falls apart in the third quarter. But not this time. Instead of letting Dallas back in the game, the Bears came out and delivered a soul-crushing drive. 19 plays, over 10 minutes off the clock, 11 straight runs to set the tone, drain the life out of the defense, and assert control. That drive wasn't just about yards or time of possession. It was about dominance. It was about sending a message. We are here, and we're not backing down. That kind of physical drive requires commitment. It's not easy to line up and run it down someone's throat, especially when your ground game has been underwhelming. But the Bears found a way. Even if the numbers weren't impressive overall, the willingness to lean on that identity in the biggest moment shows growth. That's what we've been waiting to see. A team that understands situational football. A team that can win in different ways. Caleb didn't have to sling it all over the yard in the second half because the offense didn't need to get cute. They played smart, efficient, tough football. And that might be the most encouraging thing of all. There's something about young quarterbacks having success in these kinds of drives that builds their foundation. When a quarterback can stand on the sideline, watch his offensive line and running backs move the chains over and over again, it sends a message. It shows him that he doesn't have to do it all alone. And when that same quarterback is trusted to make plays in key moments, like converting on 3rd and long or recognizing a blown coverage like he did in the O'Dunn's touchdown, that balance creates confidence. Confidence in the system. Confidence in his teammates. Confidence in himself. And speaking of O'Dunn's, the chemistry we're seeing develop, there is exactly the kind of storyline that could define a team's future. You look around the league at the best quarterback-receiver duos, and it always starts with trust. It's not just about running crisp routes or having elite hands. It's about seeing the game the same way, reacting in sync, and trusting that when one guy makes a read, the other guy will see it too. That's what we saw on that touchdown. It was off script, but it looked rehearsed. That doesn't happen by accident. That's hours in the film room. That's reps on the practice field. That's late-night text messages breaking down coverages. That's what elite duos are built on. And maybe the most exciting part of all this is that they're just getting started. Caleb and Rome are still figuring each other out. There are misfires. There are drops. There are moments when the timing is off. But the production is still there. The connection is growing. And the ceiling? We haven't even come close to seeing it yet. That should scare defenses around the league. Because once that rhythm becomes second nature, once those route adjustments become instinct, once those subtle timing nuances click, that's when you start seeing the highlight plays every single week. But let's zoom out again, because this one wasn't just about the young stars. It was about the entire team stepping up and playing complementary football. The defense responded after a rough start. The special teams did their job. The offensive line, which has been inconsistent at best, played one of their cleanest games of the season. You didn't see Caleb running for his life every drop back. You didn't see endless penalties killing drives. There was discipline. There was cohesion. It wasn't perfect, but it was organized. And for this Bears team, that's a huge step forward. One of the quiet stories of this game was just how composed the sideline looked. Even when the Cowboys made a couple of pushes, even when things didn't go perfectly, there was no panic. No sideline meltdowns. No body language that suggested frustration or fear. That matters. Because when the locker room starts trusting the process, when players start believing that the coaches are putting them in positions to win, that's when the culture shifts. And for too long, that's been a missing piece in Chicago. It's been a cycle of change. New coaches, new quarterbacks, new schemes, but no real sense of continuity or growth. This game, at least for now, felt like a break in that cycle. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on our Chicago Bears. And don't be shy. Drop your thoughts on the news in the comments below. Whispers are spreading like wildfire through the NFL after Dallas Cowboys coach Brian Schottenheimer dropped a bombshell in a post-game press conference, claiming that the team's narrow loss to the Chicago Bears was outright stolen. The comments have sparked a frenzy among fans, analysts, and social media pundits, who are now dissecting every controversial call from Sunday's clash. Schottenheimer, known for his usually measured demeanor, did not hold back. "It felt like the game was taken from us," he said, his frustration evident. While he stopped short of accusing the officials of intentional bias, the coach's words hinted at deep dissatisfaction with several key calls late in the fourth quarter, including a questionable pass interference ruling and a baffling spot on a critical fourth-down conversion. The Cowboys, who have been building momentum this season, now face an uphill battle to maintain team morale. Players seemed visibly rattled post-game, with a few declining to comment, while others nodded in quiet agreement when asked about the officiating. Meanwhile, Bears fans have been quick to defend their team, arguing that Chicago executed when it mattered, yet even some neutral observers admit that the officiating might have tilted the game in unexpected ways. On social media, the statement has ignited heated debates. Clips of the contentious calls are being replayed thousands of times, accompanied by fan theories ranging from conspiracy-level accusations to lighthearted memes about gamesmanship in the officiating booth. NFL insiders suggest that Schottenheimer's comment might be strategic, a psychological play to rally his team and fans ahead of the next matchup. but others worry it could attract league scrutiny. Regardless of intent, the buzz is undeniable. The Cowboys' locker room, normally focused on execution and strategy, is now abuzz with talk of what-ifs and blown opportunities. Meanwhile, league officials are likely reviewing the calls, as they often do in high-profile disputes, though no formal action has been indicated. As the NFL season intensifies, one thing is certain. Schottenheimer's explosive remark has added fuel to a simmering fire, and the Cowboys-Bears rivalry has suddenly become must-watch television for fans craving drama both on and off the field. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Chicago Bears, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.